What is good? What is good? So I was here stuck in the middle. Halftime at the football game. I'm rooting for the Bengals, but I wanted to get this off my chest real quick, if I may. So I'm going to get in and out on this live. No one appears to have been in charge at Black Lives Matter for months. The address it lists on its tax forms is wrong, and the charity's two board members won't say who controls its $60 million bankroll. This is according to the Washington Examiner, and they did an investigation on this. Going back to last year, talked about this. While protests broke out across the country in the name of Black lives, using the color of my skin and millions others as leverage, and not to mention that, the, the backs of dead bodies of Black people, the group's co founder went on a real estate buying binge, snagging four high end homes for a total of $3.2 million in the US alone. Must be nice. Of course, that's Patrice Cullors, 37. She's been at the helm of the Black Lives Matter network. And then uh, after 6 years, she got a book deal, a TV deal. I want to be clear. I am not making any, I'm just reading news. I'm not making any definitive claims. This is an allegation. I am not saying that Patrice Cullors took money out of the coffers. We don't have proof of that. But we do see she got rewarded for what she did with an organization that I consider evil. Let's get deeper into this. I'm going to bring this quote up multiple times. Patrice Cullors said she left the infrastructure support, the necessary bones for the foundation to succeed. Okay. Well, we look at it. Black Lives Matter. Canada purchased an $8 million mansion in Toronto. So the activists in Canada are kind of furious because the group spent $8.1 million on a cash purchase of a mansion in downtown Toronto that once served as the headquarters of the Communist Party of Canada. It's so perfect, isn't it? It's just, it all makes sense. Black Lives Matter, this organization, communism, the way that communism has existed in society, in history, is elites. They eat grapes, they eat well, while everybody else is a pleb. They're eating nice, they're having a good time. They're talking about ending police association. But when you go to the Black Lives Matter website and you search Black Lives Matter demands, the number one demand is to convict and ban Donald Trump for future political office. What the hell does that have to do with Black people? I don't have time for y'all anymore. I've had enough. Of course, anything you say against this group, I'm going to get into some details in this, so let me set this up. Any attack is a right-wing attack. Try to discredit my character. We're talking about facts, and we have questions. And either it's me or the Overton window has shifted a lot more than I thought, because Canadian BLM activists, who are supposed to be your people, Patrice Cullors, Sarah Jama, and Sarah Sudi, said in a recent statement, for BLM Canada to take money from BLM Global Network Foundation for a building without consulting the community was unethical. Thanks for everybody who's joining the live. I just wanted to do this video on Black Lives Matter, and I'm going to get in and out. Hopefully the audio and everything's good. This news you might have seen, it's unbelievable stuff. I want answers. So Andrew Kerr talked about, well, here's the game that's being played. Mainstream news outlets refuse to scrutinize their finances for BLM, despite years of complaints, not from conservatives, I'm not a conservative, but not from people who disagree, but from activists within the organization at the local level, not the global. But any reporting from conservative outlets can't be trusted because they're conservative. Don't you see? More circular arguments. Therefore, Black Lives Matter gets to act with impunity, which is embarrassing. If you can't talk, these are just notes for me here. If you can't talk about the merits of this thing, I don't have time for you. Why am I highlighting this? When history is written, I am concerned that it's going to be written like Black Lives Matter was some rosy organization, like it was equivalent to Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement, or better. But I want to have it somewhere recorded in history. We all didn't feel that way, not even close. It's one of the most disastrous movements that we've ever seen in our country. It's showing itself through the ideology, the organization, the financial chaos and evil acts and hatred. And I'm going to go through that a little bit, chasing the money. Remember, Patrisse Cullors said she left the infrastructure, support, and bones for the foundation. Black Lives Matter transferred millions to a Canadian charity. Who ran the charity? The wife of Patrisse Cullors ran the Canadian charity that got the money from the U.S. charity to buy the mansion. Remember, Patrisse stepped down. She handed over the reins to two other activists, Makani Themba and Monifa Bendelli. Both of them told the Washington Examiner, see, these are the next in line. They said they never took the job. They actually posted on Twitter, we don't know y'all. They literally posted on Twitter, we don't know y'all like that.
Stop recording me. I don't know you.
I don't know you. These are people who are supposed to be Black Lives Matter to the end of them. All of a sudden, like, I don't know them. They said we never actually started the position, so we never received any detailed information. So since Patrisse Cullors stepped down, we don't know who's been in charge. How does that happen? They didn't know who's managing the money. So they got this money. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail from Thousand Currents. The bigger picture here that the Post and Washington Examiner didn't get into, and I think they wanted to stay clear so they didn't make any accusations they couldn't prove. I'm going to make a question. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to say allegedly. Where's the money? That's what I want to know. We don't know for sure they even have the money. Are they acting like a group? Black Lives Matter. I hope the mic's not too loud. This pisses me off. This group is supposed to be one of the best groups for social change that's ever existed in time. They're supposed to have 60 millions in their coffers. Wouldn't someone be proud to say, even if it's not Makani or Monifa, wouldn't somebody say, yeah, I'm in charge of this group. This is what we live and die for. Not only that, the Washington Examiner is like, who's on the council? Who served on the council? They're like, I don't know you like that. I don't know. The two remaining board members that we know of, Shamaya Bowers and Raymond Howard, did not return numerous requests for comment asking who has been in charge. So nobody's answering these questions. Bauer served as the treasurer, so that means Bauer was in charge of the money for multiple activist organizations run by Patrisse Cullors, including BLM PAC. Just follow with me right now. You damn near need an FBI whiteboard to follow this stuff. Maybe they should spend some time. I don't know. I'm not going to be ratting or trying to call on anything, but if the FBI is going to spend time on concerned parents in school, I don't know. Maybe look into this. I don't know. So Bowers served as treasurer for the group, the Los Angeles-based jail reform group that paid Cullors $20 large a month. You think about people who are struggling out there. I don't care about black or non-black. $20,000 a month. I hope it was worth it. They dropped 26 for meetings at a luxury Malibu beach. Nothing says the work for the people like meetings at a luxury Malibu beach resort. Oh, and we asked questions. Bowers declines to comment. Howard spoke openly on Facebook about his work with BLM in the past, but appears to have recently taken steps to conceal his role with the charity now. Again, another, I don't know you like that. Wouldn't you be proud? Wouldn't you be yelling, Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Yo,
Black
this is
Lives
racist. Wow.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives
Black
Matter.
Lives Matter.
These elderly women in the elevator are more proud, or some people were saying they were using it as a derogatory term, but I'm going to say they're more proud about Black Lives Matter than anybody involved with the organization. They asked more questions. They started changing the verbiage. So Howard's like, I work for an international social justice organization, very generic. Then now I work for a nonprofit. And the information about him working with the firm owned by his sister removed from LinkedIn. We don't need an expert. Doug White, though, who is a charity expert, said this is a red flag. No ish, Doug. Yeah, we know it's a red flag. It looks like a bike. It looks like a bank heist. Like, set it off.
Everybody lay down, behave.
Now give up the cash, don't make us happy
This is
blast.
the way. Everybody lay down, behave.
Patrice Cullors would be Queen Latifah and set it off, allegedly. The IRS granted Black Lives Matter tax-exempt status in December, enabling the group to operate as a charity. So what happened is they weren't a charity, they became one, and the people that were funding them financially, Thousand Currents, transferred 66.5 millions into their money that was signed by Patrice Cullors. So Black Lives Matter reported last February, which I saw the report that was on the website at the time, might still be. They said that they incurred 8.4 million in expenses, but they had expected to incur 12.7 million. So we've got questions. Where's the 60 million? And what's the difference here with the 4.3 million? Well, that would all be explained in their tax form, their 990 tax returns for 2020 that should be done, that were due. That would help clear things up. This is like the part of the movie where, movies from the 80s, 70s, or even more current, where there's a detective and they're chasing the funny. Like, you always chase the money, and they chase the money. They see an address, like, okay, let's go to the address. And you go to the address and it's an empty building that's not even constructed yet. On Tuesday, a Washington Examiner reporter attempted to request BLM's 2020 Form 990 in person at the charity's office in Los Angeles, with the group disclosed as the location its books are stored in previous filings submitted to the IRS. When they got there, they were told by a security guard, there ain't never been any BLM over here. An unidentified BLM spokesperson said they don't have a permanent office, but they offered to mail a copy of its 990 within 2 weeks. I'll be looking to follow up with that. Oh, I put a little note there. This is, to me, the white collar version of a flash mob running out of Gucci. That's all it is. It's the PhD version of running up into Gucci with a flash mob, but this actually damages society. It's even worse, allegedly. Styron, the Charity Watch executive director, said those forums, 990s, are public matter, so we should be able to see them. Where's the money? Where's the tax information? Who's in charge? Stop grifting off the color of people's skin. The NBA had their logo all over their jerseys, and you would think they would ask, where's the money? We supported the movement. There was that weird Real Housewife that spoke against them. I guess it's socially not acceptable anymore. Why can't we speak against them? We need to investigate. They pulled off one of the greatest schemes and heists and Ponzi schemes, potentially, allegedly, in the history of our country. She wasn't talking about the finances. The woman on the Housewife, she was talking about the ideology. There was a Metropolitan Police Department officer who was just shot, killed. And Black Lives Matter DC, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm talking about the global network with the money. There's been money problems on the chapter level. And sometimes people say, well, we're the chapter. We believe in what really is the ideology of Black Lives Matter. Well, here's the chapter level. After a cop gets killed, leaves a widow and a family, Black Lives Matter says, this is the point we've been making for months. Look at the reaction and coverage tonight. Tearjerker press conferences and proclamations of heroes coming soon. Imagine if people knew these folks' names. Being Black in DC is more dangerous than any job. I understand if you have real anger about financial wealth discrepancy, I'm all for solving wealth discrepancy. I don't put race behind it, but our interests converge. But that's a hate group. There's no other way to explain that. A cop gets shot and that's your take, you're a hate group. Unbelievable. It goes to the power of the slogan. You name yourself Black Lives Matter. Or I said, well, maybe you can name an organization. We love children. I might be the most trash, worst organization ever existed, but if you go against me, then you hate children, right? PETA did the same thing. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. There are, people can argue they're a terrible organization. I'm a big fan of Cassandra Fairbanks and her work she does with Tim Cast, and she works with Gateway Pundit, I believe. I think she's great. She talks about what PETA does, some of the most irresponsible, bad things to animals, but because they're called the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, they kind of have a force field. The For the People Act would legalize ballot harvesting, making it impossible to clean up voter rolls, basically creating an environment where you can't audit an election. But it's called the For the People Act. So it's good, right? It has to be good because it's for the people. We have to be able to look past the name of these things and understand when something is harmful. I'm going to end with this. My goal was to make sure that my view is kind of entrenched in history. That here's my feeling on the organization. There's a lot to question. If you are for Black Lives Matter in a positive way, I would refrain from using that term. That's just a trademark propaganda term, and I would want nothing to do with it because you're associating yourself with this nonsense. Everyone has a grift. Tim Pool has a grift. I have a grift. The Hoteps, they do Uncle Hotep Jesus. They do the grifties every year, and they joke with it. Like, we all got grift. This Black Lives Matter stuff isn't a grift. It's evil in its purest form. And another thing, if I can do a video like this, get in and out at halftime of a football game, and maybe one person sees it or you share it to somebody and they kind of ask questions, and maybe they, in the end, will get deprogrammed from this nonsense. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for listening.
Rap used to be counterculture, now it's just a bunch of robots parroting each other and a bunch of women with bow ties. I still be real when the music stopped playing and the show stopped. Thought they had us all, but Bryson came in with a roadblock. They a bunch of babies, give cells and organs to science. Then they go in the labs and make human and mouse hybrids. I mean, they say it out loud, they not even trying to hide it. Oh, you science, think I'm lying, but look it up, it's not private. Feminizing our man, they using all these celebrities just to pit them in dresses and makeup. They do it cleverly. Now it's children's TV shows, they pushing it more aggressively. Bully those that oppose it, that's how you do it successfully. Same plan over and over, we in the loop. Feminism, LGBT, you can pick any group. Think about it, they blame COVID on people not wearing masks, but said wearing masks was the reason you weren't catching the flu. 80% of Israel is vaxxed, still a pandemic. They brainwash you to blame all the people that just didn't get it. You don't think, you just believe it. You close your eyes and you miss it. Just wake up, open your eyes instead of being offended. You trust the government, really? Well, let's see. Brainwashing is why the CIA use LSD. Type in MK Ultra is right there for you to see. The operation was sanctioned in 1953. This the deprogram, armor of God on me, so I'm not scared of no man. Trying to kill us off, but I came to ruin they whole plan. Plus I walk around with a stick like I'm an old man. I know why they hate me, cause this right here the deprogram. I might get banned for the things that I say. Journalists usually get paid by the CIA. Oh what, you think they stop, they can change it went away? You don't think they getting paid to push all the agendas today? Let's see, look it up cause it needs to be understood. Under Clinton, the CIA made deals with Hollywood, pushing propaganda, give you perceptions that it was good. Have you seen Sony's hack emails? If not, I think you should. It got exposed by WikiLeaks. Look it up, take a peek, they never stop pushing propaganda. They just being more discreet. Celebrities scared to speak out cause they mentally weak, scared to lose all their sponsors and money, they censor their speech. I'm independent, do what I want, I'm taking all bets. Why do y'all think they pushing so hard with Lil Nas X? What base did he captivate? With that old town single, all the little kids fell in love with that little jingle. Then he toured all the schools, they had it planned from the start. This is good versus evil, this is light versus dark. Lap dancing with the devil and ended up on the charts. They keep playing with God and I take it to heart. This the deprogram, armor of God on me, so I'm not scared of no man. Trying to kill us off, but I came to ruin they whole plan. Plus I walk around with a stick like I'm an old man. I know why they hate me, cause this right here the deprogram. Armor of God on me, so I'm not scared of no man. Trying to kill us off, but I came to ruin they whole plan. Plus I walk around with a stick like I'm an old man. I know why they hate me, cause this right here the deprogram.